What's up guys, welcome to another video. My name is Marlon and today we're going to be doing a review on the MGCOOL Explorer Pro action camera. Alright guys, full disclosure, MGCOOL actually sent me this camera and asked me to do a review for them. That doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest with you guys, so expect an unbiased review here. I'm going to be straight up with you guys and I'll give you my honest thoughts on this camera. Before we actually start this review, I just want to say if you're new to this channel, thank you for stopping by. And for those of you already subscribed, thanks for watching again. And go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. The way I'm going to do this review today is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the camera and talk about the specs on it and some of the features. Go through the menu, show you guys how the app works, and then show you guys some video that I've recorded with the actual camera. And then I'll give you guys my final thoughts. All right guys, I'm going to save you guys the trouble of doing an unboxing on this. Here's the box that the camera comes in. Very nice box by MGCOOL Explorer Pro. It includes a USB cable. It has the user manual. It includes one bracket here, a camera bracket, and it includes two of these helmet bases, an adapter, a clip, which mounts onto the, or goes onto the back of the bracket here. This one is for the bicycle mount or like handlebar mount. It includes a waterproof case, which is great. The actual camera and an extra battery. So this actually brings two batteries. All right guys, let's take a closer look at the actual camera and talk a little bit about the specs. The camera is made out of plastic. The front part of the camera feels like this nice little rubber kind of matte look. Nice quality in my opinion, nice build quality, very light, 55 grams. The dimensions on the camera are 59 by 41 by 29 millimeters. Let's go over the front of the camera here. We have the power button, and which also works as your mode button, so you can switch between the modes. Here is your lens. On top here you have your shutter button, and you have this light that comes on right there. On the side you have your up and down buttons, and here's your speaker. On the other side you have your micro SD card slot, your USB slot, and your HDMI output. You have to use a class 10 or above micro SD card. This part, I was not sure about this, but it looks like it's missing a little cover, but it actually does not include a cover. So this will always be exposed. Something to keep in mind if you're out using the camera bracket outside and there's a lot of dirt or sand, just keep that in mind that this is opened up. On the bottom of the camera here, we have your battery compartment. And I had a hard time opening this up. I still can't open it up with just my my nail or my finger. I have to pry it open with like a little screwdriver that I have right here, and then you pop open the battery door, and inside here you have your battery. Just takes it out there, and again this comes with two batteries, and the batteries are 1050 milliamp hour batteries. They last about 100 minutes. When recording in 4K. To charge them, it takes about 2 hours to charge them up. The camera charges up via USB. Once you use your batteries up and you have to charge back up, you have to, use your camera to charge them back up. So just keep that in mind. And up front here, we have the 6G Shark Eye wide angle lens, which provides you with a 170 degree wide angle view and provides also a distortion correction. On the back here, we have the 2-inch TFT display screen, which is very nice to have. It is not a touch screen, however it does provide you with a nice clear image when you're shooting. And another feature that I like here on the sides, again we have the up and down button, which actually I haven't really seen this in other action cameras, but you can actually zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see there like that. I'm zooming into that World's Greatest Dad Award, and you zoom out. I'm not sure that I'd use it that often or that much because this is an action camera after all. I forgot to mention also that the lens is fixed focus like most of your action cameras out there, but I thought this was a pretty cool feature here to have the zoom in and zoom out feature. So on the inside here we have the all-winner V3 SoC CPU. The image sensor on this camera is the Sony IMX179. And earlier I mentioned that this power button is also your mode button. Just have to press that front button to cycle through the modes. When you're shooting video, you have the capability of shooting 4K at 30 frames per second, 2.7K at 30 frames per second as well, full HD at 1080p at 30 frames and 60 frames per second respectively, and you can shoot all the way down to 720p at 30, 60, and 120 frames per second. The image resolution on this camera, right now I have it set to 16 megapixels. but you could change that for anywhere from 2 to 5 to 8 and 12 megapixels. So this camera shoots in the H.264 codec for video. For images or still images, it shoots JPEG format only. So let's take a look at the menu system here. I'm in video mode right now, and here's the picture mode, slow motion mode, which you can shoot at 1080p 60 frames per second or 720 at 120 frames per second. And there's your playback mode. Let's go in here to actually select one of the menus. You press the shutter button up top, and here you can scroll through all of these things here. When I first started recording, I had forgot to check the recording sound on, so you can record audio. So make sure that's on if you want to record audio, or just leave it unchecked. If you want to uncheck it, you just click the shutter button like that. You have your time lapse and your looping mode, which is really neat. You could use this as a dash cam or as a security camera, and the camera will loop for a set amount of time. You can also set that as well. Here's your slow motion, and currently I have it at 1080 at 60 frames per second. But if you want to continue looking through, you just hit the shutter button there, and then it'll bring up the video, different video resolutions. So we're going to keep going now. We're in the photo mode, and you have your options for photo. Here you have your settings for exposure. You could adjust your exposure, your white balance, image rotation. You can check that on. It does not rotate automatically, so if I were to start shooting and I flip the camera over, it doesn't rotate on its own. That's for you to actually rotate it. It has that driving mode. I checked with MGCOOL about the driving mode, and they explained to me that when you're in this mode, the camera will actually start recording once the car starts moving, and that it will stop recording when the car stops. So that's a pretty neat feature to use. You have your Wi-Fi setting there. Just have to hit click to turn that on, and then you'll have your Wi-Fi, and I'll show you guys the app here in just a moment. You also have the option of changing the password and all that. I just haven't done that yet. You have other settings here as well. Oh, here you have the time watermark. If that bothers you, just uncheck that. By default, it has the time watermark on. I wasn't aware of that because I actually didn't scroll all the way down initially, and I missed that. Yeah, you can change the language on it as well. You set your date and format everything here. Check your firmware version there as well. And when you want to get out of here, just scroll on over to the X and hit the shutter button, and you're back on your regular camera mode. All right, guys, let's take a look at the Wi-Fi option here that the camera has. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into Wi-Fi mode. You just hit the up button over here on the side, and it'll go into the Wi-Fi mode, as you can see there. Then on your phone or your device, go into your settings, your Wi-Fi settings, look for the Explorer Pro network. It'll connect to the camera. Then you go into the app, and it's the Explorer Pro app. You guys can see there. Select that, and then it'll connect to the camera, and there we go. Now we have our live view. The camera, the latency on it is pretty on point there. It's not delayed by much, so you can see my hand in front of the camera. Looks pretty good. Here are your options, your video options, camera, slow motion. Under video, I forgot to mention earlier, it does have your time-lapse mode, and here you could set the different intervals. At the bottom here you have your settings button, and here you can change all the video parameters or your photo parameters and so on. So I do like the user interface on the app. It's very well designed, very easy to use as well. Connecting to the camera is no problem at all. Alright guys, this is just me here in my office doing a short test, just so you guys can hear, have the camera obviously here at arm's length, just so you can hear what the audio sounds like. Okay guys, so let's talk about a few things that I really liked about the camera and some that I didn't like so much. To start off, we got to keep in mind the price point here. This is an action camera that's coming in under $60. I'll put the link down below so you guys can check it out. In my opinion, it's a great value. You're getting a whole lot. You're getting 2 batteries straight out of the box. You're getting a waterproof case. You're getting a whole bunch of the camera mounts. So that definitely is a plus in my book. I also like a lot of the features that the camera brings within itself. I thought that the application was easy to use. The user interface was really nice and easy to navigate within the app. I thought that the menu system in the actual camera was also easy to navigate. So definitely has a lot of shooting modes, which is another plus in my opinion. But I have to be completely honest with you guys. The video quality is not the best. I thought that some of the shots looked a little soft. They weren't that crisp. And I did notice a little bit of blotchiness in certain shots. With that being said, it's still usable footage. Again, keeping in mind the price point, you're not getting here professional action cameras. I did like a lot of the features. I really like the 6G shark lens. I thought that was a pretty cool feature. The low light performance was, in my opinion, wasn't that great. But, you know, again, I really don't use action cameras in low light. I would definitely recommend this camera for somebody that's probably in the market for their first action camera and doesn't want to spend a lot of money. Very usable camera, very usable footage. Some of those things you can correct in post-production if you really wanted to. So I'd keep that in mind as well. So with that being said, I'm going to post some of my pictures that I took with the camera on my Instagram. Make sure you guys check that out. And that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank MGCOOL for sending this camera out to me. Really appreciate that. And again, for those of you that it's your first time stopping by my channel, I really appreciate it. Click on that subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate the support. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.